Why can someone spend 6 hours playing a game, but struggle to study for 30 minutes? Why does defeating a virtual boss feel exciting, while finishing homework feels exhausting? Most people assume it's because games are fun and work isn't. But psychologists have discovered something much deeper. Games are built around powerful motivation systems that tap directly into how the human brain learns, focuses, and pursues rewards. And once you understand those systems, you can use them to make studying, working, and achieving goals much easier. Let's find out why. Games give instant rewards. Every time you level up, unlock an achievement, complete a mission, or find a rare item, your brain receives a reward signal. These small victories trigger dopamine, a neurotransmitter involved in motivation and learning. The reward arrives immediately. That's important because our brains naturally prefer rewards that happen now, rather than rewards that might arrive weeks, months, or even years later. Studying and work often require long periods of effort before any reward appears. You may spend weeks preparing for an exam, months learning a skill, or years building a successful career. Games compress that reward cycle into seconds. As James Clear explains in Atomic Habits, behaviors that provide immediate satisfaction are much easier to repeat.
Example: the marshmallow experiment and delayed gratification. A famous psychology experiment known as the marshmallow test demonstrated this perfectly. Children were given a choice: eat one marshmallow immediately or wait and receive 2 marshmallows later. Many children chose the immediate reward. Researchers later found that the ability to delay gratification was associated with better long-term outcomes in areas such as education and self-control. Games take advantage of the opposite tendency. Instead of asking players to wait, they constantly deliver rewards right now. Our brains love that.
Games have clear goals. Games rarely leave players wondering what to do next. Defeat the boss, complete the mission, reach level 20, unlock a new ability. The objective is always clear. Real life is often far less obvious. What should you study first? Which career path should you choose? How do you know if you're making progress? Psychologists have found that uncertainty increases stress and mental fatigue. Games remove that uncertainty by providing clear objectives and measurable progress.
Games are designed to keep you engaged. Game developers spend years studying human behavior. Every feature is carefully designed to maintain interest. Progress bars, achievements, storylines, challenges, competition, rewards. Everything works together to keep players engaged. Most schools and workplaces are designed primarily for productivity, not enjoyment. That's one reason games often feel more exciting.
Games satisfy basic psychological needs. According to self-determination theory, developed by psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, humans are motivated by 3 fundamental needs: autonomy, having meaningful choices; competence, feeling skilled and capable; relatedness, feeling connected to others. Games satisfy all 3. Players make decisions, improve their skills, and interact with friends or teammates. Research shows that fulfilling these needs creates strong intrinsic motivation. In other words, people participate because they genuinely enjoy the activity.
Games create a sense of control. In games, effort usually leads directly to results. Practice more, get better, make smarter decisions, win more often. The connection between action and outcome is clear. Real life can be much less predictable. External factors often influence results. This makes games feel fair, consistent, and satisfying. Your brain naturally prefers immediate rewards. Humans evolved in environments where immediate rewards often meant survival, finding food, avoiding danger, gaining social approval. Our brains became highly sensitive to short-term rewards. Delaying gratification requires effort and self-control.
Games work with our natural instincts instead of against them. This makes them extremely appealing. Games use unpredictable rewards. Many games include rare items, mystery rewards, treasure chests, and unexpected bonuses. You never know exactly when the next reward will appear. Psychologists call this variable ratio reinforcement. It is one of the most powerful learning systems ever discovered. Because rewards are unpredictable, people continue playing in anticipation of the next big reward. This is why players often say, just one more game. Games create flow. Have you ever become so focused on a game that you completely lost track of time? Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi called this state flow. Flow occurs when a challenge is difficult enough to be interesting, but not so difficult that it becomes frustrating. Games constantly adjust challenges as players improve. This keeps players fully engaged. Research suggests that flow is one of the most enjoyable mental states humans can experience. Games provide fast feedback. Imagine practicing basketball, but not knowing whether your shots were successful until next month. Learning would be slow. Games do the opposite. Every action generates immediate feedback. Hit, miss, success, failure, level up, achievement unlocked. This rapid feedback helps players learn and improve quickly. Educational researchers have consistently found that fast feedback accelerates learning. Games provide social recognition. Humans naturally seek belonging and recognition. Games understand this. Leaderboards, ranks, achievements, guilds, teams, multiplayer competition. These systems provide social rewards and a sense of status within a community. The result is stronger motivation and longer engagement. Why some people love studying or working. Here's something interesting. Many successful people use the same motivational principles found in games. Programmers track progress. Athletes chase personal records. Entrepreneurs pursue measurable goals. Students build study streaks. Duolingo became one of the world's most successful learning platforms by transforming education into a game through points, streaks, achievements, and leaderboards. The lesson is simple. People enjoy effort when progress is visible. How to turn your life into a game. You can apply game design principles to your own goals. Break large goals into smaller quests. Track progress visually. Create rewards for completing tasks. Build streaks. Compete with friends. Celebrate small wins. Treat difficult projects as boss battles. When work feels like a game, motivation becomes much easier.
The downside of games. Games are incredibly effective. Sometimes too effective. The same psychological mechanisms that make games engaging can also encourage excessive play. The goal is not to replace real life with games. The goal is to borrow the best motivational systems from games and apply them to real-world success. Games aren't successful because people are lazy. They're successful because they are masterfully designed systems of motivation. They provide rewards, clear goals, progress, feedback, challenge, purpose, and social connection. By applying principles from psychology, flow theory, and self-determination theory, you can design your studies, work, and personal goals to work with your brain rather than against it. Work starts feeling less like a burden and more like a game you actually want to play. So here's a question for you. What's one way you've turned studying, work, or self-improvement into a game? Leave your answer in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.